Hi, guys. There's a lot of correlation and parallels between what's happening here on the planet Earth and what's happening in outer space, in our galaxies, on the solar system. There's a lot of parallels that we can draw between these two. I often hear the question, why is there so much evil in the world? Why doesn't God just end it all? Why doesn't God end the evil that's in the world? Why does he allow it to continue and to persist? The universe is expanding. Science has proven that the universe is expanding. It's stretching, it's evolving. And in the process of that evolution and expansion, there's bound to be a shift and a movement. There's bound to be a lot of activities. There are so many things that happens in outer space that we're not even aware of. There's so much activity that's happening in outer space, in our galaxies, our solar system, that we are not even aware of. And when you look at what's happening on our planet, the planet Earth, there's a lot of movement as well. There's a lot of shift. There's a lot of things that are happening as a result of this expansion and evolution that's happening with the universe, this stretching that's happening. We've had more floods and more earthquakes and more volcanoes than any time in our history. You look at climate change, all of these things, all of these activities and these movements that are happening on our planet is as a result of this expansion of the universe, this evolution of the universe. The universe is moving into a higher state. It's moving into its highest form of existence. And in that process, there's a lot of movement in our cosmos. There's a lot of activities. There's a lot of shift, and this expansion and evolution is bound to cause disturbance, to cause some type of chaos. And that's what we're witnessing here on our planet, with all the floods and the earthquakes and the climate change, and with all the volcanoes that are happening, and all the other things that are taking place. These are all as a result of this shift, this movement, this evolution and expansion of our universe. And so what can we learn from ourselves as humanity as a result of this expansion that's happening in the universe? We are part of the universe. We are part of life. We are part of nature as humanity. And as the universe expands and stretches and evolves, we ourselves as humanity, we are stretching, we are evolving, we are expanding. There is a shift that is taking place within our consciousness, within our awareness. There is a movement, there is a shift that is happening. So as the universe expands, we also, as part of the universe, are expanding. We are also shifting because we are moving into a higher level of existence and consciousness. The universe is pushing us as humanity in that higher level of existence and awareness. It is pushing us into that direction. There's a shift, there's a movement that's happening within our consciousness and within our awareness as humanity. And this shift and movement is as a result of this expanding and evolving and expanding universe. So our consciousness, our awareness is also being expanded. It's also being stretched. It's evolving as well, as a result of this evolution that is taking place within our solar system, within our universe. So as part of the universe, as we are part of nature, we are part of the universe, there is an evolution, there is an expansion, there is a stretching that's happening within our consciousness. And so, why is there so much evil in the world? There is a biblical statement where Jesus said, in the last days, sin will only grow worse. It will get worse. But what he did not do was to explain why sin will get worse. Why sin will get worse in the last days. And what last days are these anyway? What was he referring to? The last days of what exactly? You see, before things can get better, they have to get worse, right? Just as there's a lot of movement in our cosmos, in our solar system, there's a lot of disturbance, there's a lot of turbulence, there's a lot of chaos that is taking place in our galaxy, in our solar system, as a result of this expansion and stretching of the universe. Also, in our own lives as humanity, as the universe pushes us into that higher level of existence and awareness and consciousness, there's bound to be turbulence within our consciousness. There's bound to be chaos. There's bound to be disorder. There's bound to be a lot of violence within our consciousness. As we expand and as we grow our own awareness and consciousness, there's bound to be a lot of turbulence. So the reason why sin is only getting worse every single day is because we are expanding as humanity. We are being pushed into that higher level of existence and consciousness. And because of that, in that process of expansion, there has to be chaos. There has to be violence. There has to be disorder. And that is why you see so many bad things that are happening in the world. It's because we are expanding. We are being stretched. We are evolving as humanity. We are evolving into a higher level of existence. And for us to move into that higher level of existence, there has to be a shift. There has to be some kind of chaos and disorder that take place before they can be order. Remember what happened after the Big Bang. There was a lot of chaos. In the beginning, when the universe was formed, it came out of a very chaotic environment. There was chaos and disorder. There was a lot of violence and turbulence everywhere. But over time, the universe began to shape itself and fashion itself and bring itself into order. And that's exactly what's happening with us as humanity, is that we are going through this phase of turbulence and violence and chaos and disorder because we are moving into a new level of existence, a higher level of existence and awareness. And in that process, there's bound to be chaos. And that is why you see so many bad things that are happening in the world. It is because the universe is moving and shifting us or itself into a higher level of existence. And since we are part and parcel with the universe, we are now partaking in that expansion and evolution. And so we are going to reach a place where it's the pinnacle, it's the apex of our consciousness. So things are going to get worse before they get better. Once we've reached that pinnacle, that apex in our existence, then everything is going to start going down. In other words, sin and evil will start to dissolve and go away. Simply because we've now reached that level. And once we've reached that level, we're now going to begin. Then we're going to now enter into that place, into that phase of our existence where now sin becomes less and less, evil becomes less and less and less. But before that can happen, there has to be chaos. There has to be chaos because we have consciousness is nothing but awareness. Right? We have lived through a period of our existence as humanity where we did not understand ourselves. We did not know ourselves. And so we had so many questions and we were just going to so many different places trying to find answers to our existence and who we are. We did not know. But now the universe is beginning to reveal that to us. So the universe is bringing that awareness, and that's that self-awareness and self-consciousness. It's bringing that to us But before we can become aware of self, we can know ourselves for who and what we truly are. Before that can happen, there has to be a shift. There has to be a mental transformation. There has to be we need to be renewed in our minds. And for that renewal to happen, it's a process. And that process involves experience and oftentimes very painful and hard and difficult experiences. And that's why you see the world in a space where it is in right now, the state that is in right now. It's because of that transformation that is taking place, that renewal that is taking place. It's because of that shift in our consciousness, in our awareness of self that is taking place. So we're getting into a place, into an era where we are now becoming aware of ourselves and the divine beings that we truly are. And we did not know any of these things. But now that we're moving into that level of higher consciousness and higher vibration, we're now moving into a new space, into a new place. The universe is now beginning to reveal its secrets to us. The secrets of the kingdom of God are now being revealed to us. The time has now come for us to be able to see the secrets of the kingdom of God, the secrets of the universe. But for that to happen, for us to see the secrets of the universe and of the kingdom of God, we need to expand our own awareness. We need to expand our own consciousness. And for that expansion to happen, there has to be a stretching. And for that stretching to happen, it is going to cause turbulence and chaos and violence. And that is why you see the human race in a state that is in right now. It's because the universe is pushing itself, it's expanding itself, it's stretching itself. And in that process, there's bound to be a lot of turbulence taking place. And so as we grow in our awareness of self, our eyes open and we begin to now see those secrets of the kingdom of God, the secrets of the universe that have been hidden from us for a very long time. But you cannot see those secrets because your awareness of self is very limited. And so the universe is now pushing us into a higher level of existence so that we can expand our self-consciousness, our self-awareness. And as it expands, then there's this light that then shines upon our lives, upon ourselves, and we begin to see ourselves for who and what we are for the very first time in our history. And that is what is happening with humanity right now. And that is why you're seeing so much evil that's happening in the world right now, is because we are expanding. We are evolving as a species into a higher level of existence because the universe is expanding itself. The universe is stretching and evolving itself. So you can say that God is evolving and stretching himself or itself. God is expanding itself. And as God is expanding, or the universe is expanding, our consciousness is also being affected as a result of that expansion and evolution. And that is why you're seeing so many activities and movements that are happening all around us. Is because the universe is changing. The universe is evolving. The universe is leveling up, is moving into a higher level of existence, and it is not going to leave us behind. It is taking us with it because we are part of the universe. So the last days that the Bible was talking about, it's not the last days of our existence here on earth and then we're gonna move into another place. Not in a literal sense, but it is the last days of evil, the last days of sin. These are the last days of sin. In other words, you could say the last kick of a dying horse, right? So things are gonna get worse before they get better. We need to reach that apex, that pinnacle, that higher point in our existence. Once we've reached there, and everything is gonna start reducing and getting lesser and lesser and lesser. And as sin becomes less and less and less, suffering becomes less and less, struggle becomes less and less, what do you think happens to good? Then good begins to be magnified. God begins to be magnified. Light begins to shine as darkness becomes less and less. And that's basically what is happening with with the human race right now at this point. So don't be alarmed when you see all of these things happening. We're all moving into a higher level of existence. It's all happening because the universe is expanding itself. God is expanding itself. The consciousness and the awareness within us is expanding itself into a higher level of existence. So I think that's the best way in which I can be able to answer the question, why is there so much evil in the world? It's because we are being stretched. It's because we are being expanded by the universe. And in the process of evolution and expansion, there's bound to be turbulence and violence and a lot of chaos. And out of that chaos and violence, there's going to be order. There's going to be order. And that's where we are headed to as a human race. I hope that makes sense.